Hello everyone, I'm Amir from Azov class. In the last class, we coined with our toolbar and we learned how to manage our tool and how to delete them. Today, we want to be coined and we want to work with the rectangle marquee and with the selection part. Actually, they are meaning the selection part and we want to work with them. Without no more words, let us start. First thing we have to do, we can create a new document or we can open one photo. So let me open one photo and it's better. We can see the selection part is better on the background. It's here we have a little cute kid. And here it's an important part. Here it's in the second tool that we choose for me, the rectangle marquee tool. And rectangle marquee tool shortcut, it's M. For example, if I choose a move tool and click on the M, the rectangle marquee tool will be active for me. And I can see it's a M. Or move tool, it's a V, and we learned in the last class. Or if I'm click on the V, it's move tool will be active for me. Guys, it's better we use a shortcut, for example, like an MV or anything we have on our keyboard, because it make our work very faster and it's better for us. We have to save our time. Time is very important. So I'm select this. If I'm right click on this tool, I can see another tool that they are depends on the selections. I don't want to read their name now. And the first, it's a rectangle marquee tool with the shortcut M. If I'm selected, this little square is here, white square. It's meaning this tool activated for me, and I can work with this tool. So let me do. If I'm select this and it's active for me, if I'm click on my screen and my photo and drag it, it's making one square or one rectangle for me. And for example, I can make it bigger or smaller. For example, like this. I can, for example, select this face of this kid and it will be select for me. These places exactly on the one square, it's selected for me. Sometimes we want to move our selection places. For example, I don't want to have this face of this kid. For example, attention in my mouse position, it's like plus now. If I'm dragging on the exactly in the square places, it's changing. Its position changing. If I'm click on it and hold it, I can move my selection to any place that I want. For example, I want a selection here, or I can move it to the here, or let me be here, it's better. Sometimes we want to delete our selection and we don't want it. It's very easy. If I'm click around this square everywhere, exactly not in square. Click on the here on the, for example, left click, it will be deleted for me and I can't see it anymore. Let me to actually deleting selection tool selections have a true way. So let me explain about another ways. So we learned if I'm left click on the around the square everywhere under my screen, I can't delete it like this. Or if I'm right click on the screen, this time it doesn't matter you're in the square or out the square. I can see it, the first and the top, it's a deselect option. If I'm click on it, the selection actually will be deselect for me and delete for me. It's the second way, and the third way for deselect one selection. It's going on the option bar and click on the selection and click on the deselect. We can see deselect here and shortcut from deselect, it's a Ctrl plus D. If I'm hold Ctrl plus D, doing the same for me. For example, if I'm click on this, you can see my square, my selections, and the square will be delete for me. Or I can hold the Ctrl or D on my keyboard and the selection will be deselect for me. I know guys, I'm explaining very much about one subject, but we need to know everything about Photoshop and another ways or 10 ways. For example, some another panels we can use as deselect on the options or here on the screen. So we have to know another ways to how to deselect our selection. So, and here, if I'm right click on this. Oh guys, I forget something. If I'm making one selection and we learned how to move our selection, for example, it's just possible when I'm on the selection tool. If I be on the move tool, for example, if I'm hold and dragging, it's cut for me. It's a cut photo for me, and not changing my selection places, not. So it's better when we want to move our selection places, be on the selection tool. And guys, for example, sometimes if we did this and we can't, for example, I can make it very better and release it on these places. For example, I can hold the Control plus Alt and Z. If I'm do this, it will be like before for me. Everything changing to the last move. I will explain about shortcut in the especially part, as I wanted to say this to notice how to back it. If I'm hold the Control, Alt and Z, it's backing to my last move. For example, if I'm making 10 rectangle places, and it's when I'm hold the Control, Alt and Z, it will be back for me all of them. So let me be on the choose a selection, so and work with another things on the selection part and rectangle. The first thing, it's make for us one circle, and for example, I can select this picture with one square and work with it. One circle, not a square. Sorry. And for example, I can move it to the right or left side, or I can delete it. If I'm click on the deselect, it will be deselect for me. Delete is not good word for it. Deselect is better. So, or I can left click on the around this circle and it will be deselect for me. Sometimes, for example, we wanted to make one square very great. For example, if I'm dragging my mouse, it's not a square actually. It's like it's very hard and to making one good circle or square with our hand. It's very hard. Actually, I can say it's impossible. So let me to deselect this. If I'm hold Shift on my keyboard and dragging, I can see it. It's making one circle very well for me, and actually it's a very good circle, and I can't say anymore. So let me to going on the rectangle and delete this, and for example I want to make a very good square. For example, it's sometimes it's rectangle, or sometimes I can very hard. I can make it one square. It's a hard. If I'm click on the Shift, let me delete this. I'm hold Shift on my keyboard and I start to dragging. I can see it. It's making very great square for me, and I can move it to any place that I want. For example, on these places or here, I can do whatever I want. So I explained how to deselect our selection, and here I have some things here. If I'm hold my mouse and it's making one horizon selection for me, and well, I don't know where we can use this selection. Just it's something that you can selection one places with it and work with this selection. I don't use this tools very much, horizon selection or vertical selection. I don't use them very much, but maybe it could be useful for us. I don't know where. And we can work. This tools will be useful for us, and we work with them very well. So we explained about this part of the our selection. Let me go to default. Our selection and work with them. Selection, guys. Selection part have a 3 video. It just was first video about selection and how to work with selection. Very easy. It was a very easy, and I know. And in the next parts, I will explain very better about another subject and how we can work better with the selection tool. So thanks for watching.